I know it's been a hot minute and I know that I'm a little bit late to the party, but I am finally getting around to doing my little unboxing and initial look at the Novritsch SSR4 rifle. Now, it does look quite a bit different in here. You can see my background is all swanky and changed. I did like the old background. It was nice having all the riffs on the wall, but I think the YouTube AI may be in a little bit of like, there's lots of riffs in this and they look real, so we're not going to show you to as many people. So in my wisdom of trying to, you know, be more friendly with the YouTube system, I have de-riffed the back wall and we now have a almost kind of semi-penis type thing there with Novritsch plate carrier on, which is very cool. We will add some trousers, so don't get too distracted from the supposed genital area of the mannequin there. And we've also got the patch wall and the neon sign is back, so that's very cool. In a future video, I'll kind of like share details of where you can send patches to have them in there, and then you'll be featured on the patch wall, which is very cool. But anyway, long intro done. We are looking at the Novritsch SSR4, which is the brand new M4 from Novritsch, and I must say I'm very excited about this because apart from the SSR90, I've never actually played around with a Novritsch AEG before. Sadly, I haven't played with an SSR15, although I did get hands-on with one in Vienna when I was over there visiting the guys. So this is going to be a bit of a new experience from me, and yeah, I'm very excited to see what's inside. But before we get inside, if you're not subscribed yet, click the big old subscribe button because you're gonna love the content. We are doing regular content on everything and everything under the sun. So yeah, click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet, and hey, you'll have a grand old time. And along with all my wonderful subscribers, who I thank each and every one of you for your ongoing support, I'd also like to thank my patrons for their ongoing support as well. You guys and girls support me every single month, and without you, I really wouldn't be able to be doing this. So thank you all so much. Along with the rifle, we did get some extra goodies as well, including a 3-cell LiPo battery to run with it, a spare magazine, and I believe there's a magazine in the box as well, so we've got 2 in total, a bag of 0.28 gram bio BBs, and a 1 to 4 times scope. Now these I actually have played around with a few times in the past, and I must say I'm pretty stoked that they sent one with the rifle. I also got this white box here, which I'm not too sure is inside, so let's just crack that open now. And it is a suppress. Oh, no. I thought it was a new massive suppressor. No, it is a Novritsch water bottle. I presume these are going to be on the website now. But yeah, it's like a thermos, so you can put hot drinks in there, cold drinks in there. I can either go to Airsoft with cups of tea in here now, because I'm English and that's just what English people do, or I could put some like ice cold water in there, and that is something which I bloody enjoy. Oh, it's delicious. But enough of the bloody water bottles. You want to see what is inside this box. So let's just have a little look and see what we've got. So cracking that open, we have got a little SSR booklet, so I'm guessing that's going to include all the general safety things and stuff like don't shoot yourself in the face. Pretty standard stuff there, but I appreciate that anyway, especially if you're a new player. There is information in there which is very handy to have, and this is information of the riff. So if I do have any questions coming up, I can refer to this later on in the video. There we got this little foam covering on top, and inside we have got the SSR4. Now, I must admit, it does look really nice. I'm a bit of a stickler when it comes to M4s, especially the handguards, because I like them to be a very specific shape. It could be because my first main M4 was a Crytek CRB, and that's got a very similar handguard shape to this. And on first impression, that is the kind of comfort. There you go. That fits my hand really nicely. I do enjoy a good C-grip. By the way, YouTube, this is a toy. This is not real. This is a toy. Then we also do have a magazine in there too, so we do indeed have 2 in total. We have an unjamming rod, which I'm going to leave in the box because we don't need to look at that for now. And we've got an Allen key, which is for the quick change spring. Yes, hopefully it is actually proper quick change as well, because that would be absolutely ideal. That is the one thing that I am not a fan about the Crytek FM4s, because they say it's a quick change spring, but you still have to take the entire gearbox out of the lower receiver, and if anybody knows, that's not quick to do. So first impressions for this is it is very light. Like, you pick that up and instantly you can tell that it is a full polymer build. Now, some people like polymer, some people don't. Some people prefer full metal builds for the realism, and, you know, quite ironically these days is that a lot of real firearms are actually made to be out of polymer because they have a little bit of give, so they'll bend more before they break. They're also a lot more lightweight, they're cheaper to make, they're faster to produce. There's a ton of reasons why polymer is being very common in the real world, and therefore it's coming over more to Airsoft. Got a full standard Picatinny rail on the top there, tons of M-LOK on the side of this handguard, both on the bottom and on the left and right. We have a pretty standard looking flash hider there on the front, gonna protect it. Like if you were to accidentally hit it on the mud, you'd be able to just like get a stick, empty that out there, so your barrel is gonna be nice and clear. You've got this left side bolt pull there, which does open up your hop unit access there. So you pull that back. There's no lock for it either though, so you pull that back and then adjust it with your thumb. I'm kind of used to that now because my Crytac, the actual lock on it has broken, so I'm a little bit like, meh, not too fussed. But I can see if you're used to this locking open like that, that may be a little bit of an annoyance there. Then looking at the grip, it looks like it's kind of like a PTS style grip. I like the flat fins on the front there, and then the kind of grippy texture on the side. And it's a beaver tail as well, which means it's got this extra part of the grip coming up here. And I find that's actually more comfortable than your standard grips for your little like kind of middle thummy bit here. Like you can kind of like roll up and down it, and the fact that there's no break between the upper receiver and the grip, it feels really solid and really nice. Fire selector is not ambidextrous, so you've just got the fire selector here on the left hand side, so you can operate that with your thumb here. And to be fair, I'm happy with that. I like that. I never use the fire selector on this side. I never really play left-handed at all, although if there is a corner and I feel like it's a not very dangerous corner to peek, sometimes I will swap over and have a little look to get some practice in. But generally speaking, I've never had to use a fire selector on this side, so I'm happy that that's just blanked off. It also feels very sturdy too. I've had a couple of M4s and SMGs in the past where it just doesn't really feel like it's a very positive switch, like you change it to auto, but it feels a bit like wobbly on there. This is actually really secure, so I do quite like that. The stock as well, it doesn't look like it's big enough to take the three cell LiPo that came with it. Let's have a little look at that. Yeah, so these side bits here are filled in, so you're only going to be able to take a single stick LiPo in there. So the battery that they sent, I won't be able to use on this specific model. Dean's connector installed as standard as well, and that's something which I absolutely love, because every single rifle I get, I do swap over the connector to a Dean's, because all my batteries run Dean's, and Dean's is just a much better like connector platform. You get a better surface area, better contact like between the connectors, which means that power delivery from the battery to the gun is just infinitely better. So if you're not using Dean's yet, just buy a bag of them from like Amazon, super cheap. Buy a soldering iron if you don't have one already. Soldering is super easy to do. Swap your connectors over because you will see the benefits, I swear. And Tamiya connectors are annoying to put together and take apart. They're just, yeah, nightmare. There's quite a few sling points on here as well. So we've got one there, one there, one there, and one there. And we've also got one here and one here. There's 6 sling points on this M4. That is the most sling points I have seen in any rifle in my entire life. And also in the stock, you've got a sling hole here and here. So if you wanted to sling through that, if you've got that type of sling, and then use the quick, like the QD on the side of the rifle there, then you would be able to do that. Let's get the mag and see what the mag fitment in there is like. Okay, that was me being weird on the first one. That is cool. And then let's see if we... Hey, it mag flips well as well. First time, every time. But yeah, that does feel really, really solidly nice. Like I like that. And you know what? This magazine actually feels quite nice too. Like my personal preference is the see-through M4 magazine, so you can see exactly how many BBs you have in your mag at any one time. I believe these are 120 round magazines as well, so the capacity is pretty nice. I do prefer mid caps over high caps because they don't rattle. You get more of a feeling of realism, even though I know that 120 rounds in a real life magazine is way more than you would expect to have, but I much more prefer running mid-cap mags, and you should too. Try mid-cap magazines, it will change your life. Let's see what the flex is like. So there is some handguard flex, but you see the barrel itself doesn't actually move at all. And that is one of the great things about having a floating barrel in the middle of the handguard, because if you're here and you're kind of like putting forces on it and you're like kind of twisting the handguard, do you see that there? The barrel isn't actually moving because the two aren't connected until like, apart from right down here. Can't get over how light this thing is. It is really, really light. Let's see if our ejection port cover works. Yep, that works really nicely. I don't know how I prefer it. If I prefer running with it closed, or no, that's easy, open all the time. You do have the flat trigger on there, and the movement on that feels really nice. Of course, this is an optical trigger as well, with like Novritsch made MOSFETs. So it's kind of similar to a Gate Titan, but also different at the same time. You can program it as well. You could program it as a binary trigger if you want to. You can change it so you've got like burst on different fire selections on here, instead of just having like semi and full auto. There's a load of stuff that you can do. In fact, there's a whole like picture and video going through on the Novritsch website. So along with the SSR4, let's have a quick little look at the other bits that we've got. So this is a spare magazine, and it comes with this little clip on the top to, I guess, protect it. We have got the 1 to 4 times optic. You know what? That's actually really cool. That fits super nicely and is easy enough for me to use with one eye open. So I've got my peripheral, but I can still quickly aim in while seeing that there. And also you can put a battery into the sight, so you can have it light up too to make it act more like a red dot sight. So yeah, on the 1x magnification, it does seem a little bit, maybe it's like 1.2 instead of just being like straight 1 magnification, because when I do that, it is a little bit more zoomed in. So maybe it's like more 1.2. I am going to do a proper look at this in another video as well, and also compare it to the other scopes and optics that Novritsch do. So if you're thinking about getting some Novritsch optics, I'll be able to do like a full rundown and kind of hopefully help you in your decision. This seems to be the setup running 0.28 gram BBs, which Novritsch is recommending us to use as creators. So I feel like this is probably a good build for you to start off with if you are interested in getting the SSR4, for you to give a go. I do like the 1 to 4 times, because again, if you're like running CQB, you can literally just like not even worry too much about the optic and just kind of like look straight through at people that you need to, or just let your muscle memory take over and flick to the targets nice and quickly, just like so. Even with the sight on, it still feels like lightweight as an overall rifle. Like the total weight of this one is 2.3 kilograms, although to be fair, the metal version, it says it's only 2.6, so it's only going to be an extra 300 grams more than this one here, and the optic is definitely going to be weighing more than 300 grams. So between the two, I guess if your preference is more metal, then it's still going to be quite lightweight. I really want to get my hands on the metal one now. Could I be super cheeky and have a metal one too, so I can do like a review? Let us know in the comments, viewers, if you think that Novritsch should send me a metal one so we can do a side-by-side comparison, because I'm curious. I'm sure you must be curious too. I know what we've not done yet though. We need to chrono this bad boy and see what kind of BB outputage we are doing when we fire some shots with this. So let me get a battery, let me get some BBs, and let's do some chrono. The FPS on those ones there, 303.1, 303.1, 303.1, 303.7. And then it went to 302 and then back to 303.1. So that is fairly darn consistent. That is at 1.19 joule though, so that is slightly over the UK sight limit, which is 1.14 joules. However, that could change if I use a heavier weight BB, if I use a slightly lighter weight BB, and also once I've zeroed it in using the hop unit. Sadly, in here, I don't have a range long enough where I can actually zero this rifle in to actually get a, you know, like a real life idea on how this is going to perform out in the field. But I do want to do that as soon as I can get out for a game day, which I'm hoping is going to be this weekend. I'm going to take this out to the field, I'm going to zero it in, I'm going to re-chrono it, and then we'll know exactly what we're dealing with. And for the rate of fire, you'll be looking at 23 BBs per second. That is not too shabby. I must say that with the stock on, this thing does look absolutely lovely. It feels good, the weight of it is really great, and like being lightweight is something which is a big issue for me. Like I've said in so many videos in the past that I need to have something that is lightweight because I do put a lot of cameras on, but also my stamina sucks, and if I'm carrying something heavy around with me all the time, I'm not having a great time because it just makes me more tired and I can't play Airsoft as much. This thing looks absolutely awesome, and you know what? It feels great, and I cannot wait to field this. So again, thank you Novritsch for sending it to me. I really do appreciate it, and yeah, stay tuned for gameplay videos. Now, if you made it this far and you're not subscribed yet, hit the big old subscribe button. Go on, you know you want to. You don't want to miss out on future content. You don't want to miss out on gameplays while you're on this for the first time and see what I can do with it. And also, like I said, we're going to be doing some Novritsch optic comparison videos in future too. So if you're wondering about which ones to get, you're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you get notifications turned on as well. And until next time, remember to call your hits and stay fresh.